Welcome all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the AM News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Let's begin from the National Assembly, where Senate President Godswill Akpabio has assured Nigerians that the country will overcome insecurity, stressing that the federal government remains committed to tackling terrorism and restoring peace across affected states. Delivering his Easter message, he urged citizens to embrace tolerance, unity, and peaceful coexistence while acknowledging ongoing security challenges in parts of the country. Akpabio maintained that sustained efforts by President Bola Tinubu and security agencies combined with collective support from Nigerians will ultimately bring stability despite recent killings reported in states including Kwara, Plateau, and Nasarawa. In the meantime, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has urged Nigerian Christians to emulate the teachings of Jesus Christ as they celebrate Easter. In a message marking the end of Lent, the Speaker called on the faithful to remain steadfast in prayers for Nigeria and the administration of President Bola Tinubu, noting that divine intervention remains key to addressing national challenges. Speaker Abbas described Easter as a season that reflects sacrifice, love, and selflessness, urging Nigerians to imbibe these virtues for national peace and stability. He also emphasized the need for religious harmony, describing the overlap of Ramadan and Lent as a unique opportunity to strengthen unity among citizens across faiths and ethnic lines. In a similar message, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu called on Nigerians to embrace hope, unity, and humanity. He encouraged citizens to support one another, extend kindness to the vulnerable, and remain committed to collective national development, while reaffirming the National Assembly's resolve to promote inclusive policies and sustainable growth. Police authorities in Kano and Benue states have announced heightened security deployment to ensure a peaceful Easter celebration across both states. The commands say personnel have been stationed at worship centers and strategic locations, while residents are urged to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. Reinforcements approved by the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, are expected to strengthen operations before, during, and after the festivities. Away from the Easter celebration, the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) is projecting a total revenue of 1.489 trillion naira for the 2026 fiscal year, an increase of 21.21 billion naira above its 2025 target. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Abubakar Ntoho disclosed this while presenting the agency's 2026 budget proposal and the 2025 performance before the House of Representatives Committee on Ports and Harbors. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
Nigeria's port sector is setting an ambitious revenue target for 2026 as the Nigeria Ports Authority rolls out major modernization plans for key facilities. Out of the proposed figure, 945 billion naira is earmarked for capital projects, 447.5 billion for operational costs, while over 90 billion naira is expected to be remitted into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. Despite a 2025 target of 1.468 trillion naira, the agency recorded about 1.19 trillion in actual revenue.
On the long term, we need to have natural deep sea ports in Nigeria, and government has approved. Some of these approvals have been around for like 10 years. But for the proponents, the promoters, for them to generate the kind of goodwill to bring in the money is not happening. So the House can even help us if you can promote some private sector people to come and invest.
The NPA says it is now set to begin long-awaited modernization of Apapa and Tinkan Island ports, two of Nigeria's busiest but aging port facilities. Dr. Dantoshaw noted that Apapa Port is nearly 100 years old, while Tinkan Island Port is over 50, both struggling with limited capacity for modern shipping demands. He added that the construction activities in Lagos Port may temporarily divert traffic to eastern ports, potentially driving economic activity across other regions.
The federal government has committed to doing it in phases. We are starting the phase 1, like you say, you have given the approval for the loan. It will start in earnest. Then the eastern ports will follow as soon as possible.
Chairman of the committee, Nolim Naji, described the budget process as critical to national development, assuring that the committee will intensify oversight over port operations and ongoing rehabilitation efforts.
Yes, it's important that we are doing port rehabilitation, but you have to go back to think of how to take one of the ports in the Eastern Corridor so that people won't feel bad.
Groundbreaking for their rehabilitation is expected within weeks, a move expected to boost efficiency and increase national revenue. With modernization on the horizon and higher revenue targets in sight, stakeholders say the success of these reforms could redefine Nigeria's competitiveness in global maritime trade. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives has launched a sweeping probe into the performance of concessionaries operating Nigeria's air and seaport terminals, demanding transparency, accountability, and value for money nearly 2 decades after the policy began. The investigation, led by the chairman of the ad hoc committee, Kolawole Akinlayo, opened at the National Assembly in Abuja, marking a critical phase in the lawmakers' oversight in the 2006 port concession regime. Again, National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
The policy, introduced to boost efficiency, attract private investment, and improve infrastructure in Nigeria's aviation and maritime sectors, is now under intense scrutiny. Addressing stakeholders at the hearing, Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Kolawole Akinlayo, said the committee's mandate is clear: to assess performance, identify gaps, and determine whether Nigerians have truly benefited from concessions. He urged operators to provide factual and verifiable data on their investments, operations, and compliance, warning that the credibility of their submissions will shape the committee's final recommendations.
The fees that is meant to the federation, that are not paid to federation, that is the only area we have grounds. And that is why we are calling you to answer to your your activities in office.
Meanwhile, officials from the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency say there have been notable gains. Also at the hearing, the Director Ports and Cargo and Terminal NIMASA, Olayiwola Olaruwaju, told the committee that operators have surpassed some initial targets, expanding equipment capacity and investing heavily in infrastructure. According to him, truck deployment has risen from an initial requirement of 20 to about 125, alongside upgrades in cargo handling systems, IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, and human capital development.
When you talk about the value of the equipment we have on ground, we're talking about $88.7 million.
Despite these improvements, lawmakers insist the probe will determine whether such investments translates into real economic value for the country. The committee is expected to continue engagement with key stakeholders as it compiles a comprehensive report on the impact of port concessions on Nigeria's economy. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Let's move away from the National Assembly and tell you that the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has dismissed reports claiming that the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) has been postponed, describing the circulation notice as false and misleading. The board confirmed that the examination would proceed as scheduled from April 16 to April 25, 2026, urging candidates to rely only on official communication channels. JAMB also warned against fraudsters exploiting candidates through fake platforms promising score manipulation following technical issues recorded during the mock examination. In the meantime, as examination seasons draw near, parents across the country are stepping up their involvement in their children's academic preparation. From structured reading routines to emotional encouragement, many homes are now becoming active learning hubs aimed at boosting performance and reducing examination pressure. Our correspondent, Saadatu Garba, examines the developments.
In several households, quiet study corners have replaced distractions as parents enforce focused learning environments away from television and mobile phones. The goal is to improve concentration and help students retain what they learn. To further strengthen performance, some parents are enrolling their children in extra lessons and engaging private tutors, while others are leveraging online learning platforms and past examination papers to sharpen understanding and build confidence.
Parents should ensure their children do the right thing through the period of learning, from the beginning of the term through till pre-examination.
Beyond academics, attention is also shifting to the health and well-being of students. Parents are ensuring proper nutrition, adequate rest, and regular breaks, with experts stressing that balance is key to improved academic output.
Parents shouldn't wait till examination period before they assist their children. They said proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it's something they should be doing frequently with their children.
Emotional support has also become central as parents encourage their children to stay confident and manage exam anxiety. Education stakeholders say this positive engagement is critical to reducing pressure and improving results.
To guide them and to also motivate them, encourage them to read and to guide them wherever they are given assignment, and to question them the implication of what not doing assignment.
With these combined efforts from parents, teachers, and students, expectations are high for stronger performance and improved outcomes in the forthcoming examinations. Saadatu Garba, reporting for Global Television.
On a sad note, at least 11 people have been confirmed dead following renewed clashes between communities in Nasarawa State, with dozens of houses also destroyed in the violence. Police say the crisis involving Akiawa and Udegi Kasa communities prompted a high-level visit by security authorities to restore calm and prevent escalation. Authorities have pledged to ensure justice for victims while intensifying efforts to stabilize the affected areas. You're watching the live broadcast of the AM News. The AM News continues after this weather forecast plus business foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us.
Thank you for joining us. As Christians all around the world celebrate Easter, here's what we expect Sunday to look like. The morning hours, thunderstorms are likely in parts of the southwest, talking about parts of Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, parts of Edo and Delta states. If you're in this region, keep an umbrella handy. Progressing into the afternoon and evening hours of the day, these storms are likely to extend to parts of the south-south, the southeastern states, as well as parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Nasarawa, Benue, Niger, Kogi, Kaduna, and Taraba states. That's the forecast for Sunday. I am Theodora Itum. Have a happy Easter celebration.
You're welcome back from that break. We begin the second half of this broadcast with business news, where the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSN, has suspended its strike against Seplat Energy following renewed negotiations on workers' welfare and agreement. The union says the intervention by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) helped resolve key issues, allowing operations to resume. Members have now been directed to return to work, while talks continue towards finalizing the 2026 collective bargaining agreement. Still talking business, Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago has reiterated his administration's commitment to partnering with the National Biosafety Management Agency in order to boost seed production that will enhance agriculture in the state. The governor stated this when he visited the Director General National Biosafety Management Agency, Bello Bawabari, at the agency's headquarters in Abuja. Sadia Yakubu has details.
Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago, who acknowledged the state's enormous potential in agriculture, says the state government's partnership with the Biosafety Agency is in line with a pilot scheme designed to cultivate over 60,000 hectares of land for seed production, cotton and maize, with an additional 40,000 hectares of land for rice and sugar cane. Bago expressed optimism that by the end of 2027, the state should be able to produce 100,000 hectares of varieties, which will change the landscape of the country in terms of fruit production.
Nigeria is over 250 million people and counting. And the way our production has been, it's been very, very primitive.
The Director General National Biosafety Management Agency, Barrister Bello Bawabari, says the agency under his leadership has taken the lead to promote the national program on accelerated food security, sovereignty and sustainable production, which also aligns with the governor's agricultural revolution for the state.
At the same time, for cotton production also, at 20,000 hectares which you have made available, inshallah is going to start around June this year. So in all, we are looking at this year, we are going to start with about 60,000 hectares in line with your agenda, in line with the dream of Mr. President. And we are not going to take this lightly, Mr. Governor. Inshallah, we are going to deliver.
As both institutions align their vision for food security and sustainable growth, the initiative signals not just a boost for local farmers, but a bold step towards national self-sufficiency. Sadia Yakubu for Global TV News.
The Nigeria Revenue Service (NRS) has assumed responsibility for the collection of mineral royalties from mining operations nationwide following the implementation of new tax laws. The development means Nigerian Revenue Service will now handle royalty collection, while the Solid Mineral Development Ministry retains its technical and regulatory oversight over the sector. This was the outcome of a meeting between the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, and the NRS Chairman, Zak Adedeji, held in Abuja to strengthen collaboration between both institutions. According to a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the NRS Chairman, Dare Adekombi, the decision is in line with the new tax laws, which empowers the NRS to administer all federal collectible revenue. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene. Opposition leaders in Cameroon have criticized a proposed constitutional amendment to create a vice president's position, describing it as a power grab. Critics argue that the move would allow a successor to assume power without election in the event of a vacancy, raising concerns about the democratic accountability. Supporters, however, insist the reform would strengthen political stability and ensure continuity in governance. Away from Africa to the Middle East, where Iranian authorities have placed a bounty on a missing American airman after a United States fighter jet was shot down over southwest Iran, escalating tensions in the ongoing conflict. State media broadcast images of the wreckage and urged citizens and civilians to assist in locating the pilot, with officials promising a reward for the information leading to his capture. The U.S. military confirmed that one of the two crew members aboard the F-15E Strike Eagle has been rescued and is receiving medical care, while the second remains unaccounted for. American forces have since intensified search efforts, deploying helicopters, drones, and surveillance aircraft across the rugged crash site, even as Iranian forces conduct parallel operations in the same area. And now talking sports. A major boost for grassroots football is sparking fresh hope for young talents across the country as the new investment in training, facilities and coaching begins to transform the game at the community level. Global TV's sports correspondent Samuel Odi reports.
The initiative, which targets local academies, teams, is already making a visible impact with improved access to modern equipment and structured training programs. Coaches say the development is long overdue and critical to nurturing the next generation of football stars.
I'm trying to give back to society, what society has given to me. I knew when I was serving the nation and playing these games and coming back to teach at the high level, and now coming to see how I can impart knowledge into this younger one. Some of them are very new and some of them are old. We are putting our own effort too to see if by chance and luck we are able to see one or two that goes, we inject the money back into the academy.
The program also emphasized mentorship and regular competitions, giving players more exposure and opportunities to grow. Young footballers involved in the scheme said the change has significantly improved their performance and outlook.
When I came, I wasn't exactly the fittest or the best player around, but since I came, I've been improving slowly, gradually. I've been learning as well, and honestly, I still have a lot to improve on. In the next 3 to 5 years, I see myself going far. I'm a versatile player, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm quite young as well. And I hope that at the end of this and everything else, I can look at myself in the mirror and be proud of everything I've done.
Several players say they are now more confident on the ball with better understanding of tactics and teamwork, adding that support has inspired them to pursue football professionally. Organizers believe the initiative will serve as a pipeline for national teams, strengthening the country's football future from grassroots. With renewed focus and sustained investment, stakeholders say grassroots football may finally get the attention it deserves, laying a solid foundation for tomorrow's champions. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Meanwhile, members of the Nigeria's Super Eagles have expressed frustration over unpaid appearance fees following recent international friendlies. Sources say players were owed match bonuses despite participating in games against Iran and Jordan in Turkey. The development has sparked renewed criticism of the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) over the reoccurring welfare concern. Still talking sports, the maiden Yenagoa City International 10-kilometer race has ended on a high note, setting a new standard for road racing in Nigeria. The event, flagged off by the Bayelsa State Governor Doye Duri, drew elite athletes and over 1,000 local participants in a display of enduring and sporting excellence. Anyete Patrick reports.
Ethiopia's Haptemu Mola clinched the men's title with an impressive finish, while Nigeria's Gang James and Francis James settled for second and third positions. In the women's category, Ethiopia's Shawaye Tolosa dominated the race, leading compatriots Tigis Aseta and Woki Jilo to complete the podium sweep. Organizers say the race reflects months of planning and strong collaboration, positioning Bayelsa as an emerging hub for international sporting events. Representing the governor, Deputy Governor Peter Akpe described the competition as a milestone in youth engagement and sports development. Athletes were also urged to draw inspiration from Olympic champion Daniel Igali as the state intensifies efforts to nurture future talents. With cash prizes awarded to top finishers and strong grassroots participation, the race signals a growing sports culture and global ambition for Nigerian athletes. Anyete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
That's it on the AM News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now displaying on your screen using a Global TV NG. I am Mokhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.